Okay, so again, I got into an altercation with some developers the other day. Like, yeah, cool, they're good at being developers and whatnot, but I think that ultimately, when it comes to things like Discord, like egos really play a big part, right? So people just want to be right, or they want to be seen. I had a term for this. Yeah, people want to be observed, to be seen to be right, but not to be mathematically right. So let's say about this, right? So GNU is not Linux, but Linux operating system is not the Linux kernel, right? So the Linux kernel is the Linux kernel. The Linux operating system encompasses GNU based on the Gaussian distribution being skewed towards GNU, right? Although it can encompass other shells and other things. So the Linux operating system, which is what was ultimately a reference, and which is what most people reference when they speak about Linux, especially dealing with operations relating to Linux, is in whole fact, encompassing GNU and the utilities. So generally the shell and then the utilities. However, as always, in some aspects, so it always depends on to what perspective and in what reference relating to context are you communicating the particular thing. But in general, GNU is not Linux. Right? Which means that Linux is just a kernel, but nobody ever really references a kernel because, in essence, majority of the time, and particularly in this context, people are referring to the operating system, which is unfortunately encompassing GNU based on some bias process, in essence. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. But I think that ultimately, like, the brothers just wanted to be correct, fam. Like, and I think that, yeah, it's the ego thing anyway, bro. I ain't got time for it, personally. But again, this is what I say. I'm a sick DevOps engineer, bro. I don't care what nobody says, fam. I don't care what nobody says. Obviously, I think it's a tactic, so they try to make you feel like you don't know, but then they don't actually know. So it's like they try to make you feel like you don't know, in order for you to feel less about yourself. And I don't know what they gain from that, you know. But I guess it's human nature. I think some people, obviously, of course, because they're sleeping, and when you're obviously sleeping or in a lower state of consciousness, you ultimately get controlled by other things, which are ultimately emotions and other factors in life.